Hello everyone, it's Kep here. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video. This is actually a fashion frame video. I have gotten a lot of requests for the fashion frame, where people want to know like what the colors are and stuff that I use. So I'm going to show you all of that now. Um, no builds, no nothing. I'm gonna be running with the Okina. I might swap it depending on what the fashion frame is, but the Okina Prime in general are just super duper pretty. They tend to look really good with just every Warframe, unless there is specifically like if I wanted to see specific stance like this, I can go into the appearance setting over here. But yeah, we're just gonna start off really strong with Caliban over here. Obviously, it's the Orfeo set. This first color over here is 1003. It's just this color right here. This is just one of the purples I really like. It's super muted. I do believe this might be Voruna's color palette. I'm not entirely sure. I think it is though because of the pink energy. It's the same diff on 1003 as well, but I'm using a different one. Unless I just clicked on the first one. Right, we click. Oh, okay, I see. I was looking at the wrong one over here. The first color over here is this one, all the way at the bottom. I have no idea what frame that's for, but the second color up here is from Voruna's color palette over here. I'm gonna say over here a lot, and I'm just gonna point to it, and I'm gonna assume you guys know what I mean, because I don't want to explain the row and the column because that's just gonna take forever. But yeah, so basically two purples. They're both from 1003. I genuinely recommend 1003. As the color palettes on Warframe have gone more and more saturated and more interesting, we have been able to obtain a lot more interesting colors off of Warframes. So you can see definitely with the third round of Tenno or Warframe designs, we are getting a lot of really nice vibrant purples and just really good, nice. They've definitely done quite a bit better on making Warframes look a little bit more catching to the eye. Whereas we compare this to 1001, like look, this color palette is super muted over here. Like it's all blue energy, but then you look at 1003 and it's like, yeah, there's still a lot of blue over here, but we have pink, we have yellow, we have orange. Varuna's got that beautiful, like vibrant neon glow or something like that. I don't know, it's a salmon color, I guess. Anyways, these two are both from 1003. This gray over here is just from the Light and Shadow pack. This is a really nice and creamy gray. If you watch a lot of AGGP, or if you did watch a lot of AGGP back in the day, I still don't know what he did, by the way. I just know that he doesn't get any views. I think he did something bad, but I don't know. I don't watch him anymore, but I used to watch him when I was a wee little lad, and he used to always say creamy gray is what AGGP used to say. So if you remember that, then definitely let me know in the comments, because that was a time in Warframe. But definitely over here, especially with the cloth, if you go too bright, it starts to drown out some of the detail. It becomes a little bit too disruptive. But this beautiful tone over here just looks like the perfect amount of wear, that it was white, but it's now been worn and used, and over the years it's kind of darkened and gotten a more mature color, more toned down. This I don't know what to call this, like a brass maybe, or like a cobalt almost. It's just barely some sort of gold spectrum, like a really muted white gold. This is really good when you're coupling it with a vibrant color like this, and especially with the Orfeo armor. I think it just fits so well. It goes with the kind of royal look to it. The armor looks very royal. It looks very fantasy. So it definitely looks super good when you couple it together. And once again, like purple and gold work together so well. So having this more of like a desaturated and more of a like a controlled look is definitely super nice when they go together like this. As for the energy, nothing special. I'm just running purple. Something not a lot of people would know about the Orfeo skin is that if you do have the smoke palette, or you do have access to a palette that grants you complete black, like that's not complete black. I think no, Deca Heirloom also doesn't have a perfect black. I know for sure you can get a perfect black in the smoke palette. And here, this is also a perfect black. This is from Grendel's palette, I believe, as well, which is kind of funny. Um, but yeah, so if you put a perfect black, which literally what I mean by a perfect black is that it is the darkest that color can get, because if you don't do that, If you don't have the very darkest that a color can get, there's still going to be some hint of white in that, and it's going to change the color palette. So as you can see over here, if I turn both of my energy colors to black, you can still see that there's a tinge of white to it. But if I turn this up both to perfect black, you'll see immediately when it goes to perfect black, you lose everything. So if you're okay with not seeing the AoE effects from your Caliban, putting using perfect black in your energy color looks fucking awesome because the armor is completely hollow. I love this look, and if it was up to me, I would just use it like this all the time. But it really does bother me in game not being able to see the not being able to see all of the effects and like the area of effect for my fourth ability and everything like that. So I do tend to run the energy color with the purple instead. But if you want to really invest in the drip, running a perfect black in your energy color will just make it completely devoid. You'll see as well, like for my Mirage fashion, I'm also running black in the energy color, but that's specifically for like Eclipse. But yeah, so I'm just gonna swap this back to the two purples that I had, just like so. And yeah, as for the attachments, I have the Madurai badge. You get this from maxing out your focus tree. So if I come back here, I run Madurai the most, obviously, because I'm a Void Cascade. So this is completely maxed out. Once you've completely maxed out this tree, you can hit represent over here, and then you can get all this cool stuff. So all of these literally cost 1 million each. But as you can see, I already have 3.5 million. So I can buy all of these posters and stuff like that when I need to, but the Madurai badge is right over here. And the good news about that is you also get a Void Shell thing, which might come in use later because my Voruna fashion has Void Shell stuff on it. So this is where the Madurai badge is from. It's very pretty. Every other focus school also has this. I think my Zenuric might be maxed. Yeah, Zenuric has one. Zenuric looks really cool. I love these little badges because they add like just barely what you need to, fill up something. I can't represent, almost. I can almost represent. But yeah, you just need to max out the school in order to be able to gain access to those badges. So I have my Madurai badge. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. You can also use something like the Low Guardian badge, which I think you can still get. I'm not entirely sure. I have a lot of armor here. Let's just search Low Guardian. This Low Guardian badge also looks really, really nice. It's kind of up to you what you want to use. I like the Madurai badge just because it feels a little bit more like military, more like what a knight might wear. We have the Ethereal leg plates. No shoulder plates because the Orfeo skin, it's so perfect. It doesn't need any shoulder plates whatsoever. There is the... You can take it off now? Oh my god, you can take it off. I don't know if I want to take it off. I kind of do. Okay, this is new. This is new. They just added this. You can take the scapulus off. Fucking right, you can. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm definitely gonna keep that off because I honest to God didn't like the wiggly bit blocking my view. I'm a very happy man. That has to be new. That has to be some kind of patch or some kind of update because, yeah, I'm angry I didn't see this earlier. Anyways, I have the Smoking Body ephemera. Locke's Embrace ephemera also looks really cool with Caliban. However, there is a lot going on visually, so I wouldn't recommend it. The Spinneret does look really, really cool as well if you're running a purple energy color. His Heudoris, I hate it. I hate it. I love the ghosts that come out of the floor. I love them. But why did they do this? Why did they make it so that energy color... It's such an intricate skin, and it is so much visual, like, I don't know, sensory overload when you look at it. Like, that's why it looks so good without armor, is because it's so intricate already. When you add this film over the entire avatar, not avatar, but model, it looks like it sucks. I hate it. It's the same diff with like the spore ephemera, right? The only difference is that like the spore ephemera I probably would use if it wasn't spitting out spores, because it doesn't make much sense, is because it's not like a perfect film. It kind of travels through the body and it makes it look like it's electrified or something like that. But yeah, very upset that the Eudorus ephemera does that. I would be absolutely happy if they just removed the film or whatever this outline is, and then they just had the hands being able to crawl up at you, because that just makes so much more sense. But yeah, I mean, I don't recommend any of these ephemeras particularly. This one is a crutch, by the way. If you're using the Okuri tails on every of your fashion, that's just because you don't have the drip. You need to design your fashion better. But for my case, I'm running the Smoking Body ephemera because it makes sense. There's energy kind of coming from the inside. Vengeful Toxin also does the same diff, so if you don't have the Smoking Body ephemera, you can also run Vengeful Toxin. They both kind of do the same thing. But yeah, so basically that's that. The Syndana is the Alto Syndana. Trust me, I have gone through basically freaking every one of these, and there's some of them that do look good, but they just clip with the existing Syndana there already, and the Alto just looks like it fits so incredibly well with the amalgam design of Caliban's Orfeo skin. So I have the Alto Syndana over there. This is one that came with the Duviri update for Calervo, so you can still buy it. As for the sigils, I'm running the Vasero. I don't remember where I got this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember where I got this. I think, let's see. Wood jump, defeat enemies with operators, Sekihara. I don't know. I think you get it somewhere from Zariman. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure you need to kill like 100 enemies in order to unlock the Vasero Emergent Sakara, right? And because in Void Cascade killing Thrax units counts, I'm half the way through, but the progress will only count towards getting the next stage if you're wearing it. So a lot of the fashion that I run, I'm not wearing it, so I'm not getting any progress. So I probably would have this unlocked anyways, because of the Void Cascade that I do, but I haven't worn this on the frames that I bring to Void Cascade. So probably a good bulk of these kills are from Caliban, because it looks so good. It just adds that nice like floating piece, and it does fill the area up, and it makes it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, that's it for the sigils. I don't have any actual sigils on the model itself, so yeah. Basically the same fashion can also apply to something like this. Like this is way more vibrant, kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like I throw up. This one's really cool as well. This one is inspired by Igris from Solo Leveling. So if you wanted like a Shadow Soldier, you could definitely do like a super cool like purple and black design. Honestly, if you're not the creative type and you want something that's gonna look good no matter what, then just go with like all gray tones and then turn your energy purple, and bro's literally Igris, like come on. But yeah, so that's my Caliban fashion. That's kind of some of the things in his fashion and why I've done that. I've literally I've spoken for 12 minutes, so we're gonna get the show on the road. The Frost fashion, a lot of people have been very curious about, and so I will show you right now. The Dante agile animation looks so good with the heirloom skin. Ugh, I love it. I also do have the Emperor skin. Genuinely, I'm gonna say this. I hate the fucking Frost Harka skin. I hate it. I don't know why I hate it. I don't like it. I don't like it whatsoever. Yeah. The Void Shelf skin is also like really mid. At least with these colors, it looks really mid. But just honest to God, either get the Sigurd skin or get the Emperor skin. I think that the Emperor skin looks just the best. The helmet from the Emperor skin is fucking stellar, by the way. I absolutely love the helmet from the Emperor skin, and it fits so well. Also, you might be wondering why I have 3 Frost Prime helmets. This is actually a bug that is from like old Warframe. Like super old Warframe, is anytime you got a duplicate of a Warframe, I guess, you would what is it? You'd get another helmet of theirs. So Frost is my oldest frame on this account, and yeah, like literally this Frost is as old as Void Keys when he first came out. So I have somehow along the way gotten 3 of him, and that's why I have 3 Frost Prime helmets over here. So little cute little fact for super old players. But basically, gray here. The gray is from the smoke palette. I love this smoke palette because if I know that I need a color, I can literally just hover my mouse down and go until I can find the perfect one. Genuinely, if you like using grays and a lot of muted tones in your fashion frame, get the fucking smoke palette. Oh my god, it's so good. Because literally, it's like you can go from the whitest white over here, or the blackest black. You have everything in between. You can control so much on what you're doing. I have the Deca Heirloom color picker over here. This one's just really, really nice. I think this is the one from Frost and Meg's set as well, so I don't think that you can get this one anymore. But if you do have it, it has a lot of really nice brown hues as well. I really, really love the browns in the Deca Heirloom. This gray, you can obviously find it in Smoke, or you can find it probably frickin' anywhere else in the Tenno pack or anything like that. So it's that kind of grayish black is not going to be a hard color to get. Over here in the dojo has really nice gold tones. These two rows of gold tones are fucking stellar. You can also kind of get the cobalt metal that is on Caliban through the dojo palette as well, which is really nice. But it is this beautiful, just like barely cheese gold is what Nev would say. It's because the skin in particular doesn't respond very well to like gold tones and stuff like that. It seems it was made a little bit differently from the other skins. Also, if there's any Digital Extreme devs watching this video, please, can you... I don't know how hard this would be. I really don't assume it would be that difficult because it's just a tint mask and maybe you just need to reorder them. But please, skins like this, like the territory, like this is the main metal on the skin. Just make all metals into the accents, because if I have a weapon over here, if I copy from Warframe colors, they're all fucked up, right? The gold is not where it should be. So now if I want this to look good, I need to manually go in and change the gold and everything back to what it was. And then it looks good. But even still, like, look, this is basically the same gold, right? So it's like, this is a pink gold over here, but if we look on the Warframe, this is more of a deeper gold. So it's like, what this deep gold looks like on the Frost Heirloom set, this is what it looks like on the Okina set, right? And that's what I meant by the Heirloom set not taking like gold hues very well, is because it just doesn't, maybe the tint mask isn't set up like that great. Maybe there's some layer of opacity that's letting the the base color, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the base color for the tint masks and everything like that should just be grayscale, and then you can have the tint mask set as multiply. But I literally don't know how DE sets it up. Like, this is catch up lore for you guys. I am self-taught 3D modeler, and I am hoping that I can eventually build a portfolio strong enough to get hired at DE, because I love digital extremes. But I'm gonna be a buck with you guys. I don't think that's gonna happen, because I don't think that they like to hire YouTubers. So I don't know. I might be shooting myself in the foot here. But I am a self-taught 3D modeler. I'm not that great. I'm not digital extremes levels, I can tell you that for sure. But I know a thing or two. I specialize in textures, so this is kind of my whole shtick, is running around with colors and stuff like that. But anyways, the accent over here is this beautiful blue, just like a blue steel tone, and it's nice and cool, and it brings kind of a mid-tone between, it brings together the blue from the ice, and then the darker tones and everything like that. It is just a beautiful mid-tone that fits very well with the cold theme. As for the emissive over here, we just have like neon blue. You can get this oh my god, I have an alarm. You can get this kind of neon, energy blue from freaking any other color palette, like Void Trader, Ice. The Ice color palette is pretty nice if you don't have it. I don't have it specifically because I can get this color anywhere else, but you can find this color. It's a dime a dozen. It's kind of a greenish hue or tint like that. Energy color is also super simple, just a muted little pale blue. But yeah, as for the attachments, I'm running the Nymor shoulder plates and the Elastron leg plates. Please, if you can, get the freaking Valkyr bundle. I forget what it's called, like the Carniv... No. I can't remember what the bundle is, but... Fuck! This is unscripted like the tier list, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm not gonna worry about that, but... Get it, it's good. It's a lot of plaid, I know, but fuck, they look so good. They're the best. If you don't know what to add, the Elastron leg plates, just they add so much. Just having them move and dangle around, they look amazing on nearly every frame. The 9 more plates are from the previous Nightwave, so if you haven't gotten them, they will probably come back eventually, but it's gonna take a long fucking time. So I'm sorry about that. But that's what the shoulder plates are, and it just looks so good. Like, come on. He's spiky. But yeah, as for the ephemera, it's Locks and Brace. This is also a very expensive deluxe thing, so if you don't have Locks and Brace, like, please, dear God, just don't do it. Like, the Aspirus set looks really good, because it looks like kind of ice is crackling off of his skin, so if you have any of the Aspirus ephemeras, I would recommend using that. The first one is really good specifically because it kind of gives this glow, but I would like to imagine there's kind of like an angel theme with these like feather like designs. So this feels very much like seraphim kind of deal when it comes to the Locks and Brace. So I like having the energy or the lights, you know, coming off of it like that. Ember's Heirloom Signa, like you can use the Frost Heirloom Signa, but oh, like, come on, it fits the shape of his head really really well, and since they changed it so that you can move it closer, like a lot closer to a Warframe's head now, it fits him really really well with that little crown, that crest he already has, and it kind of, this horn kind of sockets in it, and it looks like it fits him really well. I love the idea of fire and ice being combined. So this, you know, this fog or this haze of blue ice looks really really cool. I don't think I have any other fashions for him. I think, yeah, these were just me experimenting. This is just me hitting random colors until I found something that looked good. Especially with the heirloom colors. Seriously, if you want to find like a cool looking energy color for the heirloom, just spam your fucking random colors over and over and over again, because you will eventually find a color combination that looks really good. But yeah, okay. That is Frost. Frosty Frost. Let's go to the next one over here. I'm going to show you my Banshee one. Not a lot of Banshee players. Not a lot of Banshee players at all. I need to, there we go. I got her skirt unstuck. Not a lot of Banshee skins as well. I kind of hate the way that Banshee looks by default. Same with her Prime. Like, her Prime doesn't really fix anything. This fashion is usable with her Prime. I don't think it looks terribly bad, but her Soprana skin, what? But her Soprano skin looks really really good with the Banshee Echo helmet. So you can have, you know, you can have your cute little cat girl running around over here. Once again, like a super simple fashion. It's nothing like super crazy or anything like that. The energy is pure white specifically, so you can see the resonance, her little resonance weak spots like super easily. But yeah, so Yareli, noble pose, it gives her this kind of like little cutesy attitude. I think it works really well with the cat girl vibe. And we go to the attachments over here. I have the Avia chestplate. This is just really nice because it fills up this gap really really well. I think it works with the visual kind of the visual lines of the avatar. The Ceramica plate over here is kind of a flex spot, but as you can see, like, her arm is kind of shaped really weirdly, so I would recommend filling that up. It kind of bulks it up a little bit and makes it look really nice. As you can see, we are also using the Soprana armor as well, because I think it just makes a lot of sense, but you can use the Prime armor as well. I actually do think that the Prime armor looks pretty good too, but I'm gonna run with the Soprana armor specifically because I think it just works. No leg plates on this one. You're gonna figure out pretty quickly that I'm very what is it? I'm very reserved with how I use armor and stuff like that, and I think that some skins don't need it whatsoever. I think the hallmark of somebody who's new at fashion framing is that they will just throw whatever they have on, and they just put it on for the sake of putting it on. There's nothing wrong with not having armor in a certain slot. Nothing wrong at all. Like, this is probably one of the biggest tips that I can give somebody to making like really nice high quality fashion frames is sometimes less is more, right? And you really, you know, in this case, like, just having like a really sleek design, like these are stockings, like I don't want to change that whatsoever. Like, the whole appeal of, you know, this Banshee skin is that she looks like an actual person, like she looks like somebody wearing a costume. But yeah, you can put the bow as well. This is something that wasn't an option as I made the fashion, but I think the bow's pretty cute. You might want to change the what is it, the Sindana over here, but I think the bow's very cute. I think it matches with the kind of the playful style as well. However, Yeah, that kind of sucks. This sculpt for the Banshee Soprana skin is like super thin. She's very petite, so a lot of these things are just not gonna they're not gonna match her properly. Like they're not going to apply very well. But yeah, there's a just a couple of things you can do, like the Okuri tails or something like that. Even though I said it is kind of a crutch, she is technically a cat girl, so this makes a little bit of sense in my eyes. The waveform ephemera, though, oh, the waveform ephemera looks so good with her, and it makes sense. She's sound based. It is very much so a distraction, so I'm gonna change it back to the trio orbit. I actually really like the trio orbit because it just works with frames like this. So, like I imagine these are like, I don't know, it's like sound particles or something. I don't fucking know. As for the front sigil, I have the Unity sigil set up. I've matched the gray tone to whatever gray I'm using on her dress, and that way it means that the energy that I have coming from the Unity sigil, I'm able to sort of have it peek out from underneath, and it gives this really beautiful glow from behind the chest plate. So a lot of the conclave sigils have this beautiful radiance to them. If you click through some of the other sigils, you're going to realize pretty quickly that they don't have this kind of glow. This is another conclave sigil over here. I'm pretty sure if we just search conclave. Yeah, if we just search conclave over here, you can see all of the discovery, enlightenment, insight sigil, everything like that. Like all of these sigils over here have a glow behind them. The unity sigil and the insight sigil probably have the most amount of glow, but the unity sigil, in my opinion, is probably the best. So definitely I like using that. This is something that HTTP did a lot as well. But we don't talk about him anymore. As for the Syndana, it's the Bennu Syndana. The Bennu Syndana also suffers from the same thing that the Frost Heirloom skin suffers from, is that its gold accent is like its gold is not on the accent tint mask, so we kind of have to improvise a little bit. But once you get the colors looking good, I think it is super duper nice. I think it is cute as well, and you know there are obviously different things that you could probably put on here, like the Stella Flare actually looks really nice on this skin. But yeah, basically, honest God, like you can change this however you want. You can just play around with it and see kind of where things go. But I enjoy a more minimal kind of fashion. This is my Nova fashion, which some of you might really like. Once again, the Yareli pose. I think it works really well with Nova specifically because she's very sassy. I think this skin makes her like very sassy. But we have a super stark white over here. It's kind of a cool white. With a tiny tinge of blue. I think it really makes her pop, and it looks really good with this rose gold that I have all over her. Definitely matches up super duper nice with the flowers and everything like that. This one over here as well is literally just the same line in the Gamma palette. This one is in the Storm palette. The Storm palette has amazing, these like salmon tones over here are amazing for rose gold, so it's kind of a coral tone over here that we can use for our territory. Once again, fucking gold in the territory stock. Please swap it around, I beg. And then just silver over here. The silver complements the white gold really well. And it once again, it is kind of a mid-tone between the darkest and the lightest tone as well. So it's a very good supporting tone when it comes to this. And the energy color over here is very specific. I had to mess around with it for a long time to get this beautiful kind of pinkish. I don't know. Like I don't even know how to explain this. This color is really pretty though. But yeah. So those are her colors. If we look at the attachments, literally no attachments. This skin is perfect as is. I do have the Low Guardian plate on. As I said, I really like the way that it looks sometimes. Maru Obi ephemera is pretty obvious. I don't use the Kaminari ephemera for this. Like, I don't know why people use this on anything other than that specific Volt skin, because it just doesn't match any of the themes like as well. Like this bow is just freaking cute, right? I'm also running the Mag Heirloom ephemera. If you don't, not ephemera, the Signa. If you don't have the heirloom sets, obviously you can just use the Hana ephemera. Like this looks just fine. Same dip with this. Like I would say the Tomoe Signa also does look pretty good if you, you know, put it all the way down. I'd say it looks pretty okay-ish. But in this case, we are going to be running with the Mag Heirloom Signa. I just think it bulks up her head. Hiccup. It makes it look more like a headdress. Fuck. Makes it look more like a headdress, more like some kind of garb that she would wear. But yeah, same thing with the Syndana, the Bennu Syndana. I really do love this. This is from the Ember Vermilion Deluxe set, I think. This Banshee Soprana, chef's kiss. I use it so much. There are so many frames who have a lot going on in the back, and you definitely want to have like a really nice and a simple and a peaceful kind of Soprana in order to wear, and this just perfectly complements everything, and it gives you what you need. It fills that upper back area, and it doesn't drape down or anything like that. But yeah, so that is my Nova fashion. Let's get to Voruna. This is Voruna here. Um, I don't actually know if any of you guys have seen my Voruna fashion or not, but I'm in love with this Voruna fashion. Her void shell skin does look really good on her. TBH, I would love to see her get like an actual skin. Because I know Reb really loves Voruna, so if Varuna's gonna get an actual skin, it's probably gonna be an insane one. This is kind of a flex pick for you. I teeter, I flip flop on going from the Ankuna, the Anku, the Ankua, the Ankas. I don't fucking know. This one, this helmet here. I teeter from going to this one to the Void Shell helmet as well, but I really like this pointy nose. It looks more like a wolf to me. This looks kind of like a dragon in my opinion. This looks more wolfish to me. But yeah, basically super easy. Varuna's noble set is just stellar. I love the personality it gives. She is absolutely the Dami Mommy. As for all these colors over here, this is just another set in the Gamma. We have this one over here in Smoke. We have the Territory as well in 1002. And then we have the accent being just a random color in 1001. And then as for, we have, well, you can actually read it over here, the Sleek Tycor plate. I don't have a ton of these things over here, but I do run the Madurai set with it because I think it gives it a lovely ornate pattern. I think it works really well. But I mean, realistically, you can run anything else when it comes to this slot over here. You know, just make sure that it's not like super distracting or something like that. Just a nice complementing, even kind of deal. Like, you know, the Lavar solid looks pretty good as well. It kind of matches up with the scales a little bit. Or you can also go with the faux Marigo as well. It's just kind of up to you. I really like the texture that the Madurai brings, but you know, obviously not everybody's going to have the Madurai set maxed out, so this is what we're going to use for now. The faux Marigo, fuck, I hate saying some of these, is actually very important. Some of you who aren't in 3D modeling and stuff like that, basically I don't want to get into it, but basically the workflow that Warframe and nearly every other game company uses is called PBR workflow. I forget what it stands for, and a lot of people don't even know when they work with it, but it's basically the use of different maps and textures to represent the physical properties of whatever you're texturing. And so all of these different void shell things over here, they all have different roughness values. And in these roughness and metallic values change what the material looks like, right? So the more rough a material is, the less shiny it's going to be, and the more metallic a material is, the more depth and the more light that it's going to absorb. So if you kind of, you know, bridge in between, this one over here is probably like it has its roughness is all the way up and the metallic is all the way down. So it's not a metal whatsoever, and its roughness is all the way up. And the reason this is important is because the higher your roughness is, the closer to the true like hex value of the color is going to be. And then that means if we use something with a really high roughness, we're going to be able to get that kind of color, that rich, you know, pure color out of it. And as you can see, it is very simple to the territory that we're running over here. So yeah, basically that's little lesson on PBR workflow and stuff like that. And that's why the void shell skins are so incredibly nice, is because you're able to change exactly how this material reflects and everything like that. But yeah, so that's why I'm using this one in particular here, because it is the roughest of all the materials. As you can see, like the second we change it to something else, like this color completely changes, right? Oxium glass, it completely changes. You definitely could use oxium glass because it seems to retain some of its color, but I don't want to make her too shiny. But yeah, if you click on a lot of ones, like the color is completely different. It's going from gallium glaze to faux margou. I fucking hate that name. Murgu. Going from those, you can see very clearly that this is exactly what happens and how it changes. Oxium Gloss is great. It is the most metallic one in here. There's definitely some different options. I think like the Amarest one is very pretty. There's Gleaming Alloy as well for a little bit more of a lighter tone. I do love this sort of stippled pattern over here. This one's just gross. I don't know why you'd ever use that. Smooth Salvage is also really cool. I'm not even kidding you. I'm pretty sure I recognize the filter that they used in Substance Painter in order to apply that, though I could be wrong. Titanium Sheen is literally just pure metal, and there's no normals on it. So if you want like super crazy normals like that, this is just carbon fiber. You can make some really cool stuff with the carbon fiber as well. But yeah, basically that's it. Red and orange from the Halloween packet. These are great for making energy colors. If you do orange and then red, you get this beautiful kind of fiery lava, and just looks freaking great. Onto the armor though, we have the Seraphim chestplate, the 2 Ion shoulder plates. They just work so fucking well for Voruna. Not only do they fit incredibly well, but having the Ion shoulder armor with the Draugr signed on it, it gives her this like warrior appearance. It works so good together. Having these kind of like bandaged up parts of metal and everything like that, it just makes her look like, you know, she is Voruna. She literally is her. Like, come on. Voruna is literally her, like the strongest melee frame in the game, hands down, right? Like the only thing that makes Kalervo like a really strong melee frame is Wrathful Advance, and you can put it on another frame, albeit I won't deny like a 900% Wrathful Advance on Kalervo is pretty fucking strong, but you know, you can get like what? Like let's look at this. Hold on. Yeah, I'm already getting a 5.0 times critical multiplier buff on top of my melee shards. Like my critical damage multiplier is 10.4 plus 5. That's a 15 times critical multiplier plus multi-augmented stacked up. Like I'm fine. So it's like what you lose in the crit tiers you get from Kalervo, you gain in critical damage as well as force status procs and everything like that with Voruna. Once again, the video is coming. I don't know when. Things have changed so incredibly much, and I just keep finding different shit that I can do with Voruna, and I want to cover it all. I want to cover it all so bad, but fuck, I have had to rewrite that script like 4 times now. It sucks. There's so much Voruna to go around. There's so much random shit that you can do, especially because our augment came out. And it's like, I think that the Prey of Dinar builds, like the nuke builds, is like probably some of the easiest damage cap that you can do. But it's easy. It's very easy. It needs no investment, no technological knowledge or build knowledge. I don't want to cover that. I want to cover the cool, interesting stuff like stealth multipliers with Zada's Whisper and everything like that. Which, by the way, there is a Voruna slam build, and there have been videos on it before. Mine's a little bit special because people seem to forget how her first ability works. Don't use Wukong for a slam build. Use Voruna. Like, fucking Wukong sucks. I hate Wukong. I will continue to hate on Wukong. Bro, don't even find me, alright? If you join my Discord and your favorite frame is Wukong, I will genuinely debate. Like, if you're joking, I'll be like, hey, that's a funny joke. But if you walk into my Discord and you're like Master Rank 16 who refuses to Master Rank up, and all you watch is fucking like Grind Hard Squad on Wukong slam builds, I will castrate you in front of everybody else. I hate Wukong. Anyways, 90% of the reason I hate Wukong is because Voruna does the slam build way better, right? But that's enough slander. I'm running the Dragon signed on it. I have been rambling for too long. As for these sigils as well, I'm running the Acheron. You guys probably can't get this because this was, I think this was a raid sigil. I can't remember. It's old. This is an old sigil. It works so good with the Ion shoulder plates though because it fits in that little pocket and it kind of has that curvature that you really like. But I mean, realistically, it looks just fine without it. You can also put something in, like, I don't know. That works. Use the Vatsaro sigil. The emergent one sits a little bit closer to the thing, and it's nice because it still gives you the spiky language. But yeah, the Acheron is beautiful, and I get to flex because it's like this is like super old, so you know it's OG content. Same diff with the front sigil as well. running the Unity sigil. And yeah, another tip as well for these conclave sigils, if you want to give a glow to the chest of your Warframe, is if you do turn the energy to black and then have a really vibrant glow in the emissive slot, the second slot, turning the alpha down eventually will make that black invisible and just the glow will show up. So if I turn the alpha up, you can see that the black does show through, but the lower that alpha goes, the less and less you're going to see it, until eventually it's just going to disappear, or it's going to blend in so incredibly well that you're never going to see it, and you're just going to be left with the glow. So very, very pretty. Hiccup. This second slot over here is literally just the same thing, but it's purple. This was the first one I came up with Voruna, but I realized it was kind of just like, oh god, like this is just too much in your face. It looks so much better with the red, because red is just a lot less of a powerful color when it meets your eyes. So red is a lot easier on the eyes than purple is. And then there's also this. There is this. This is the meme. This is the funny. I use this sometimes for funnies. It's just fucking gold Voruna. But yeah, that's my Voruna fashion. Super cool. My Mirage fashion is dummy simple. I'm gonna speedrun this. Gray over here. This beautiful tone in the Sanctum. I love this darkish red. It's so good. It is almost a brown, but it's still slightly red. This one over here, just another white from the Dex color picker. And then we have another gold tone from the first Tenno. And then Emissive is kind of a mix between one of these gold tones as well as the orange, and it gives you this really nice kind of rich golden energy. As for the energy on her actual thing, I have it black and gray, specifically because when you use your Eclipse, you get coated in this kind of sheen, and it's really distracting, and I don't like that whatsoever, so I turned her energy black, which I mentioned earlier in the video. Same thing with the Banu Syndana, just a nice, clean Syndana. It's the same diff with the Banshee Soprana skin, literally, is that this is just one of those skins that just looks really good by herself. You don't need any crazy, bulky attachments or anything like that. Like, you can really make it look good. That actually looks pretty nice. Hold on. I like that. Ooh, I like that a lot. Cool. I do need to revisit some of my fashion. This looks really cool. I like the way it curls around these horns in the back. Anyways, boom. Mirage fashion. Speedrun. Sevagoth fashion over here. So, I would like to inform you, I was making a Sevagoth video, and my Sevagoth build is very interesting, and I might still make the video. The only issue is that, like, I'm gonna yap for like an hour and a half because people don't know how to fucking build Sevagoth. They don't know how his abilities work. And yeah, it's definitely a yap sesh, but this is just Sevagoth. Literally, it doesn't matter what fucking colors you put on Sevagoth Prime. Like, he's gonna look good, right? Like, I bet, like, this just looks good. Like, it just looks good. This looks good. That looks pretty fucking cool. Like, that looks cool. Like, it's Sevagoth Prime. His design is so stellar that you can put fucking anything on this dude and he's going to look awesome. So in my case, I went with a really nice kind of volcanic color palette over here. You already know this is part of the classic saturated. And then we have over here the gamma, and then we have in our territory something from, I think this is Excalibur's palette. I think this is actually the red from Excalibur's palette, though it could be wrong. Once again, in the Tenno palette over here, whatever this accent color is really, really nice, that brown. Same thing with the sort of yellowish to red energy, gives a very pretty volcanic appeal. In the attachments, I have the Diva chestplate. You can put anything, like the Elastron also works, and it would probably match the chest plates over here, but I like the idea of having like a little tie kind of coming out of this like vest kind of structure he has. I think it works really, really well. Elastron leg plates, I think his shoulders are perfect. At one point I did put the gazelle here because this horn actually goes through the gazelle plate and it looks really, really cool, like very intertwined. The Paradiso, the Paradiso ones also look pretty cool because they kind of sit underneath everything. It is really up for you to experiment. just yeah, like they definitely went really crazy with how a lot of the armor are placed, so it definitely does place around the horns and everything on him. As for the Syandana, this is the dual volplay Syandana. I fucking love this. I use this on so many frames. It is so beautiful. Such a simple and elegant Syandana with this beautiful little design, and it takes colors extremely well. But yeah, no sigils or anything like that on Sevagoth. Just super, super clean skin. Don't use literally any of these other ones. Like, yeah, come on. Like these are nothing compared to this masterpiece, right? Also, look at the fucking glow up. Literally, Sevagoth skipped leg day, went every leg day. Look at that ass. Ugh, that's Sevagoth ass. Anyways, Nidus fashion, I'm not going to go super in depth into this one, but I do enjoy Nidus. Nidus is one of my frames. He's my boy over the years, but, you know, he's not the greatest, so I kind of have neglected him a little bit. But I'm not going to show you the colors for this one. You can kind of eyeball it if you really, really want to. The only thing I would show you is this energy color over here, which is this one up here. This energy color is fucking awesome. I love it. It is like the perfect blend between pink and red, and it is super duper nice. Now, Bumblebee Gauss. I'm really quickly going to take the mustache off of him because I think it's funny. Now, if you have gone to the Fashion Frame subreddit, you have probably seen a Bumblebee Gauss. Probably. I can't even give credit to whoever designed it because there's so freaking many of these posts. But, like, come on. Come on. If this is not the sickest fucking, like, he is literally Bumblebee, right? He's literally Bumblebee. Gauss's Graxskin helmet is amazing, and it's probably, like, the best helmet he has. I, like, genuinely. Yeah, absolutely the best helmet he has. I love this Grax helmet so much, especially when it goes into Redline. You can see those, literally, his eyes literally change. Like, look at his eyes. He literally, like, come on. That's the best fucking thing ever when he goes into Redline like that. Anyways, Gauss Prime skin, you can use his Grax skin, but in my opinion, I kind of like how reserved the yellow color is on the lower body. It reminds me a little bit more of the Transformers look. But yeah, literally just a yellow color over here. I'm running with this kind of orangish, like barely orange, but mainly just really a nice saturated and deep yellow in the corpus section. Gray. These are all different gray tones that you've already seen. This is I don't think it's the same, but it's a similar kind of cobalt, or I don't know, like brassy kind of metal tone that the Caliban fashion is using. This works really well with Bumblebee. It really complements the dark, you know, accents and stuff like that on top of the silver ones that you get. So it just works really, really well. Energy colors are super simple. You don't need me to show you where these come from. As for the attachments, this is something I've played around with a lot. Like, the attachments can be pretty much anything. I've seen a lot of people with the Lodestar attachment. This definitely does look really cool because a lot of Transformers do have their cog in the center. The ported chestplate also works. I think this is a little bit too I don't know, too inorganic compared to a lot of the other like fashion. It just feels out of place. One of them that looks really good that not a lot of people are going to use is the fanny pack. This one looks great. If you are going to use the fanny pack, I absolutely recommend you go with the Grax skin because these two complement each other perfectly, and this just works so good with that little like I don't know, that light there on top of the strap. Like, this just looks very transformery. But in my case, I use the Asteria one, and then I also use the Gauss Prime. This does build his chest up and it makes it very bulky, and then this little kind of plus this area in the center over here gives that visual language of a core or a cog. The Suda arm spurs are something that I never thought I would use, but I actually think they look really nice in this particular situation. Transformers do have a lot of these kind of plates or different things or wings on them, and this does bulk his shoulders up just a little bit and gives him a nice little, you know, kind of detail with these little glowing balls inside of them. The Katir Forest like place specifically because this angular design really matches a lot of the other stuff on his feet as well. So it bulks the bottom of his legs up as well as complements the visual language that it gives. Same thing with the ephemera. I just have the Katir Reverence ephemera. Genuinely, you can use whatever you want. Like the Protovire doesn't actually look that bad as well when you're using it on Gauss. I know a lot of the fashion frame have been using the Conquera ephemera as well, but I'm not a huge fan of that because it doesn't really move with the avatar. But yeah, basically that's that. The Syndana is the Syrinka Syndana. I can't remember where this is from. I think it's just from the thing, but it's like you can give him the Raylita Syndana. That works really good with him. The Corona Syndana works super good. We can literally go down the list. The Officium looks okay in my opinion. There's so much you can do. The Scapulus looks really good, especially because Bumblebee has wings in the Michael Bay. The Ciathan Syndana also looks really, really nice. Definitely so much options. You have tons and tons of options when it comes to them, but I have kept it as the Syrinka one, specifically because it does give kind of the idea that wings are folded down here. These do look like wings that could pop out, but the fact that it works very well with this kind of back carapace, right? Gauss kind of has this midsection. His whole chassis over here, you would say, kind of has this upper circle, and this just literally it looks like a handle, which is really cool. I love the idea of that. So definitely the Syrinka one complements him a ton. I also don't like this shape over here. The reason I don't like this shape, it looks like a vagina. I'm not even kidding. I'm not gay, but I'm also not straight. But I also don't want to look at the back vagina on him. So yeah. The Excalibur Umbra stance is also really good for this. I think that the personality it works a lot with Bumblebee, where it is like just barely like playful but still like serious, and this kind of stance feels very Bumblebee-esque. It's something you'd see him do, kind of in neutral but more like laid back and authoritative at the same time. I think it works really, really good for him. But yeah, crossing his arms like that is absolutely Bumblebee. Like, come on, you can't deny it. I don't think it's very worth showing up the Excalibur Umber one. The Ember one might interest some of you. Rose Gold from the Storm palette, once again, such a savior. Energy, more purples from the Corpus. I think I genuinely think that the Corpus pack has some of the best purples in the game. The Kavia also has a really, really nice selection as well. I think the purple just works so freaking good with the Ember Heirloom. It's very, very pretty. This is the Dex color picker, just another gray from there. This is just another sort of muted, barely bluish gray, but it just works so well. And then this guy over here is from Voruna's color palette in 1003. As for the attachments, we have the Diva chestplate, we have the Ember Prime armor. Ember Prime armor looks really, really good. You can supplement it with something else, like you can put basically anything in here. I do not recommend the Pyraxis shoulder armor because the metallics on the gold don't seem to match perfectly. But Ember's armor is really, really nice because it is just this nice, subtle, curvy kind of armor. I think it complements her very, very nicely. Same thing with the Elastron leg plates. It's just very pretty. I want to keep the figure that she has because god damn. So I don't want to mess up anything with the leg plates. So it just feels very, very clean, very nice, and there's already these flowy bits on her legs, so it just kind of feels very right. Ember Heirloom Signa. You've got to be insane if you're not going to use the Signa with her. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you if you don't have the Signa? Citrine's Noble Stance is really, really pretty. You can also run with Voruna's. Voruna's Noble Stance also looks really good on her. She's hot. This is a hot skin. Stellar Flare Syndana as well. It also just looks really, really good on her. But yeah, that's Ember. Super fast, super easy. It's another deal with Sevagoths and like Caliban skin. It's really hard to make the skin look bad. I'll show you Loki. Loki's cool. If you're based, you like Loki. I'm not going to go through the individual colors. Some of you might want to know what this one is here. This is part of the Sanctum kit. I do like this greenish kind of gray. I think it fits really, really well. But yeah, Incubus skin. The Incubus helmet, in my opinion, is still to this day is one of the best fucking Technogen helmets in this game. I love these horns. We need more horns like this. Like, come on. They're fucking amazing. Best horns ever from any skin. But yeah, I'll go to the attachments over here. These are the attachments I'm using. If you want to pause, you can kind of take a look at that. I don't think the vast majority of players are going to care about Loki, but if you are based in red pilled, you probably should. Garuda fashion, super muted, super toned down. I'm not going to go through these particular colors as well. I'm kind of speed running at this rate because the video is almost an hour long, but you know, I get to ramble. I think some of you guys like that. But yeah, once again, this beautiful brass color. Oh, I love this. You can see why it's favorited. Like, if you look in my favorited pics as well, you can see like the whole first layer, or not layer, but the whole first row is just basically all gold tones that I use for all of my accents, and they all do different things, and they respond differently to different skins. Like, this gold would look completely different on a different skin, right? So that's why I have so many. Garuda's fashion is very, very pretty. My Haro fashion, he's also cool. Kind of the same diff, but more of like an aqua color theme to him as well. Once again, a nice, beautiful coral kind of rose gold fashion to him. And this just comes with his set. Like, the attachments are all Etheria except for the chestplate, which is the Elastron. IMO, he probably looks pretty good without a chestplate because you do get to see the beating heart inside. Locke's Embrace Ephemera also works fucking perfectly. He feels very divine. As for his Signa, you can run the Frost or the Ember Heirloom. Tomoe I would not recommend. I don't think any of these other ones look particularly as good as the Meg Heirloom Syandana. This literally does make it look like it is some like extravagant, you know, kind of royal, not royal, but you know, garb, I guess. My poor Harrow I will have like a bout that I like, not a bout, but like a spell. I'll be like, I need to play Harrow, and then I'll main Harrow, and then I'll put all these shards on him. I'll just put a ton of strength shards on him, and I have the casting speed ones, and then I'll take them off because I'm putting them on other Warframes. Gyre fashion, yeah, Gyre is kind of hard to customize in my opinion. She's a little ugly most of the time. I do love her Kuvael helmet, don't get me wrong. I just hate this part in the back. I really wish we didn't have that. So I use the automaton helmet because I think it looks very nice. Yeah, colors are super self-explanatory. Here are all of the attachments for her. Not like a super duper huge fan of Gyre, but I must admit, you know, she can get some fuck shit damage when it boils down to it. So not super interesting for Gyre. Steinax. This is the Sun God Steinax. This is my first ever video on my channel. If you do go to that video, which, you know, part of this is me wanting you to go to that part of the video, or to go to that video just so you can find the fashion. I do have all of the exact things for the fashion in there, but yeah. Baruch's Noble Stance looks so good. This feels very divine, feels very at peace, and everything like that, so it works super duper well with that. Zaku over here, this is relevant because this is, you know, Zaku Prime is coming along. So these are the colors I have over here, very specific. The Orokin Gray is super duper nice. This is another set from the 1002 palette down here. We have another beautiful reddish kind of dark red from the Sanctum set, and then we have a nice beautiful sort of almost just a nice like bronze brassy color. I think it looks really, really good. Specifically, this doesn't look like the greatest in my opinion. I feel like it could be better, but when he's broken, oh, look at that. Come on. Come on. He's literally a skeleton. He's literally a demon. The name that I made for this was Volcanic Zaku. So he literally looks like he's a fire demon, and I just fucking love this. Please, give us an option to just be skeleton mode all the time. I would want nothing more as a Zaku player to just be in skeleton mode all the time. I just want this. I want to look at this. He's a fucking skeleton. Come on. Like, how am I gonna say this is bad? This looks amazing. Rhino's Deathwatch also looks really, really cool. Sevagoth's Agile also looks really cool with him. Let me find it. I'm too lazy, I'm searching it up. There we go. His Agile, super cool. This little arm twitch is really, really nice if you want to be the Bone Man. But Zaku's animations will always forever be really, really befitting of the skeleton look. Yeah, I just love this. As for the attachments, kind of it is what it is. I am using mix match attachments for different things. Etheria up here, you know, Kiratrima and stuff like that. Just kind of mixing everything together. Locke's Embrace, it does look good on Zaku, don't get me wrong, but having the Vengeful Toxin ephemera kind of originate from his center really just does look like flames. So it looks really cool. Once again, that kind of yellow to red or orange to red creates a beautiful looking fire tone, especially with the emissive. Like this literally looks like you know, burning coal is what this looks like. So I love the Zaku fashion frame. I can't wait for Zaku Prime because it'll give me an actual excuse to really invest into Zaku. Zaku can be played a ton of different ways, especially because you have Zada's Whisper, which is just fucking OP. Like, my Yareli fashion, a lot of people might be curious about. Yareli is kind of a difficult frame to fashion frame, but I love this one. I love what I did with it. I think it's perfect. Super duper kawaii jellyfish girl with this one, and I'm super happy. I'm running a purple over here from the Eminence one. As you can see, it's one of the nice deep purples, just a standard gray from the smoke palette, just to keep everything nice and balanced out. This is another one of the nice super pretty like purplish pinks that you can get from this color palette, and you can run around and change this, but I think that this just complements it. Like just this lavender kind of pink, like just super muted, super desaturated, works so well in complementing that nice deep purple. As for this nice pop of gold, as everybody knows, like purple and gold work together so well, so it is this beautiful little thing. As for all of the armor, it is all the serious stuff, or the Cyrus, I guess. All of these are just jiggly bits, like her dress, and they flow and they run around. And I mean not run around, but as she runs around, they jiggle and they'll kind of flail behind her. And I think it works really really well with you know, the jellyfish identity that she has. Ember Heirloom ephemera. I do know that she looks really super cute with the Hana Signa as well. She looks kind of good with any of them, TBH. But yeah, definitely the Hana if you want to run it, or the Ember Heirloom. Having that horn kind of slot into that little notch up there works really well. But the Hana Signa is also like super duper cute on her. It just gives her even more personality. Yeah. Listen, I think it's a cool helmet. I just don't like it. I would rather run her standard helmet. I fucking listen. This skin has the yacht, by the way. This skin has the yacht. I would tap this in an instant, but I hate this. I don't. This makes me uncomfortable. I don't like this. This great. Yacht damn. I'm down bad. I hate this. It ekes me out. It irks me. I love her fucking hands. They look stellar. She is quadruple thick with 3 C's, but yeah, I think her Sphysalia. Okay, my mom's vacuuming. I don't know if you can hear that or not. We're already at an hour, so we're too far into this to give up, but yeah, that's Yareli. Probably one of the most important things, the Bloodshed Sigil. This is a tech, if you may. This is a fashion frame tech, which I figured out, is that if you have the Bloodshed Sigil, which is this one right here, you get this for killing the orb, the Exploiter orb, or something like that. I think it has like a 1% drop chance, and I'm so fucking lucky that I got it. But genuinely, if you use the Bloodshed Sigil on 0.75 alpha, if you give it white or lighter tones, it no longer looks like blood. It just looks like she's wet. And it works so well. It works so well because she looks like it looks like a combination of her being wet, obviously, but it looks like glitter. Like she glistens, and it just looks so good, so good. She literally just looks like she just like came out of water. and so I love it a ton. As for the Syndana, I was running the Banu Syndana, and I think the Banu Syndana still looks incredibly good on her. But I did switch it to the Cremata Syndana because it is something that is a little nicer, and it does jiggle a little bit. I really don't recommend anything that extends past down her dress. I think her dress is like one of the really, pretty parts about her, so I wouldn't recommend using anything like that. Definitely keep it super short, or or not at all. Like it's not like you particularly need to have a Syndana on her. Just in my case, I'm using the Cremata one. The Benu also works perfectly fine in this case. I think both are equally as attractive as the other one. So yeah, that is Yareli's fashion. Super super happy with how this went. She's super cute. There's still the bug with Marilena where it won't display properly. But yeah. Citrine, I don't think I need to show you the Citrine fashion. She's super easy to customize. Hildren is kind of cool. I will show you very briefly what this is. It's literally just white, green, gray, gold, green. So cool, kind of very in your face, very kind of techno mommy, I guess. Protea's fashion. There's a dime a dozen for Protea. I don't think any of these other fashion frames are particularly interesting. I'll show you my Ash one though, because I think that the Ash one looks really, really good. Combining the Ryuga skin with the Shroud helmet just looks fucking dope on top of the Ember Heirloom crown, which they did fix. So I can actually bring this up a little bit back up here to make it look a little bit nicer. But yeah, just nice, flowy, cool, like warrior, shinobi type deal. A lot of kind of muted colors. I do really love putting purple on Warframes because a lot of the times they respond very, very well to them. Just overall, like a fucking drippy as hell. I'll show you the armor once again if you didn't pause. Avia, Ornist, Avia, Peach Blossom, everything like that. Not a super hard fashion to recreate. I don't think you need the exact values. Because you already see, like, I use the same colors, so it's like, yeah. Meh, meh, meh. My Nezha fashion's really cool, actually. I'm a Nezha hater, specifically because he's just a cheap copy of Rhino. I know it doesn't look good that I hate both of the Chinese Warframes. It's not like I hate Nezha, I just hate Nezha players. Not because they play Nezha, but because Nezha players famously are like, Nezha's like the best Warframe in the game, and Rhino just does it better. And yeah, like a great example of this is like if you put Rhino in front of 20 level 1000 or something heavy gunners, and he uses his iron skin, he can do that infinitely. Nezha cannot. Nezha's shield will wear down, and even though, you have the 3-second invulnerability, your warding halo isn't going to break at the same time your shield is going to break, and you're just going to die. That is the main reason I don't like Nezha or Nezha players, is because they're like, my Nezha's invincible, but then the second your Nezha goes past armor tanking phases, he's just cooked. He's cooked. Like he can't live. You're gonna be having to shield gate in some way, shape, or form with him, when Rhino doesn't need to do that. But yeah, that's Nezha hate. I'm not racist, I swear. I'm Canadian, so I'm like a little racist, but that's because it comes with the territory. But the Nezha Amperian skin is just so fucking good. Oh, I wish they would rework him just a little bit. Like his identity literally is just like a worse Rhino. And oh, also another Kepchup lore over here. I think it was a Nightmare Frame. Was it Nightmare Frame or Grindheart? I can't remember. Really mainstream like YouTuber slop content for Warframe. I found the Dark First build with his augment first. I spent like 100 platinum to rush Dante and then rush his Subsume because I knew, I was like, this is going to be based. I made this build before it came out, and I went to bed, and the next day I woke up and that fucking build was uploaded on one of their channels, and I was so upset because the build got so fucking popular, and I was like, I could have had like so many fucking views for that build with the Nezha Dark First nuke, but it was taken from me. Yeah, they all have like a hive mind, it's the content creator hive mind. But yeah, that's Nezha. That's a little spiel on Nezha. Rhino, oh, my beautiful boy, look at you. He's dripped out the wazoo. The deck skin is really, really nice. I love the Rhino deck skin. This beautiful kind of bluish, grayish tint from the Katir set is also an amazing accent color to have. As for, you know, Doppline stuff, all the Doppline armor is from Gauss Prime Access, and I kind of didn't like the Doppline set when I first got it, but fuck, it looks so good on some frames. I really do love the way the Doppline set looks on some frames, especially because these metals really match up, and there is kind of an angular design to a lot of the deck skins, so this just works. This just works. It's a super simple color palette, like, don't get me wrong, but it just looks so good. Nah. I'm just kind of flashing you guys at this rate. Like, my Zephyr fashion is pretty. I'm literally just looking for frames that are like stand out, because it's like I'll customize a frame and then I won't really play it, but like Zephyr's one of those frames I do play. I just think this looks so good. Her Hagoromo skin is just permanently going to be the best skin ever. I fucking hate the Harrier skin. I loved it. I thought it looked so cool. This should be a Gauss skin. The Harrier skin should have been a Gauss. Like, why give it to Zephyr? This makes no sense. This makes no sense. Zephyr is my beautiful bird lady, and I love her to the bottom of my heart. I was a Zephyr main for so fucking long, too, which is hilarious. I love Zephyr. I love Zephyr so much. These are my attachments, literally just the entirety of the Avia set. But yeah, that's Zephyr, Hagoromo skin, purple and blue. She looks so good. Oh, I love her so much. My Gara fashion's pretty nice. You can replicate this very easily, though. Even though the Tenogen skin, I think this is a Tenogen skin, is it? Hold on. Yeah, the Zamaru skin. The glass on the Zamaru skin is weird. It bugs out on the helmet for some reason. Like her Prime helmet is fine, but the glass on the Zamaru helmet is like way brighter than the body. But either way, it is very, very pretty. I think it looks really good. Yeah, definitely keep the Prime details on, because it is a difference of night and day. She looks way better with the Prime details on. This is just a very awkward shoulder plate setup. It making her hips wider balances out the shoulder plates so much nicer. On top of the fact that you do really just get some beautiful details and lines across the Prime skin, except for this little line that they forgot here, because the Prime skin doesn't have that, right? The Prime skin has the details baked onto it. The Zamaru skin doesn't actually have any details underneath it, because that gets covered. So it's, you know, you do get a little patch down here when it comes to that, but I still think that's a very pretty skin. But yeah, that is an hour and 10 minutes of me just fucking yapping to you. Oh, my Atlas skin's really cool. I love my Atlas. Oh, look at you. God, you're so sexy. The Blade of the Lotus skin with the Prime details, like, you turn it off and you're like, meh, but you turn this on and it's like, fuck yeah. It perfectly balances him out. Like, literally, the Prime details saved Atlas so much. Because, like, what are these, like, weird thunder thighs, right? Like, these are weird. I don't like these, like, little thigh plates. I don't understand why DE keeps designing frames with massive thighs. But this, you balance him out, oh my god, like, his legs are thicker, his arms are thicker, he has this massive hulking chest and shoulders, like, on top of the fact too that the Blade of the Lotus helmet gives you these two little parts as well that come out, like, this just looks fucking trippy. I love the way Atlas looks with this Blade of the Lotus skin and the Prime details. It just looks fucking stellar. I love it so much. No armor needed, no nothing. I actually don't know if I even finished customizing this. But yeah, like, this is, it looks so good. I do think Atlas needs a little bit of a rework, though. Atlas's kit is old. It is old. But yeah. Yeah, that's literally it. I don't think I have any other fashion that is of note. Everything else is pretty normal. Ooh, I do like my Feeric fashion. Listen, I'm gonna be here for the Oberon rework, and when Oberon gets reworked, I'm going to be a very happy man. TBH, my acting theory is that when Radiation gets a rework, because Radiation fucking sucks, when Radiation gets a rework, Oberon's also gonna get a rework. That's what my theory is, and he'll have all that radiation damage. But this looks amazing. The Destrier helmet works so good with the Feeric skin. Bro is literally the Forest Guardian, and there's nothing you can say about it. Like, come on. super super cool. If you are an Oberon player, let me know. I would love to kit him out with a ton of like ability damage radiation shards and just go ham, but even still, like the damage of his abilities are not particularly great. He needs a lot of energy generation and stuff like that, but he is a beautiful frame to play. I love everything about his Feyarch skin. Oh, this is, yeah, not even a finished build. Fuck. Mm. But yeah, I think that's everything. I think that's kind of everything. All these other frames are really kind of run of the mill. None of them are super duper special. It's literally the ones that I have all the forma and all the shards on that have the best fashion in my opinion. But once again, I am one of those people who just appreciates like a less um, crazy kind of fashion. Like I'm not a huge fan of the super neon colors. I like to have a more of a natural and less saturated tone. Let the design speak a lot more than the colors when it comes to that. So yeah, that's everything. I'm done. This is the outro. I'm not gonna ask you to like or subscribe because I think that's cringe. So just yeah, fucking do something. I don't know. Have a good day.